Now let's see, our debaters will debate with their motion today. I start from the proposition team to deliver your arguments for the first speaker.
Thank you very much for the time that given to me. My honorable adjudicators and my beloved friends, the opposite team. Our debating motion today is online education is more effective than on-campus schooling. As a first speaker, I would like to define the motion that the keywords online education. Online education means that students are learning from home and do not interaction face to face between students and teachers. We strongly agree with the motion that was raised today. The first reason for me, online learning helps the students to know how to use some technologies. I agree with the motion. It is because online learning helps the students to know how to use some technologies. We have the data, studies and stories, journal entitled Technology, Information and Communication. The using IT in the world of leading education in America. Aula Asrama 2003 found several. It was said that found several the purpose of technology, information and communication, such as improve quality learning and teaching, increase student satisfaction, improve quality and save money.
POI is open.
POI, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, you say the online learning can make students know the use to independent. I just want to say for you, that's the audience, before the online learning, the students is not to use the mobile phone. They are know how to use the technology. So I think the online learning in this education environmentally is don't need to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I would like to say that you don't understand what I mean. I say that online learning helps the students to know how to use some technologies.
Proposition team, please continue your argument.
Okay, so how about the child is under 10 years? Is still using the online education? Is it still effective? Meanwhile, they don't know.
POI is over. POI is over.
Cell phone.
Okay, for proposition team, please continue your arguments.
Ladies and gentlemen, online learning helps the students to know how to use some technologies. To strengthen this argumentation, we have the data from studies and stories, journal entitled Technology, Information and Communication. The using IT in the world about leading education in America. Aula Asrama 2003. It was said that found several the purpose of technology information, such as improve quality learning and teaching, increase student satisfaction, improve service quality, and save money. Again, I would like to say that our team strongly believes that the motion. Thank you.
You still have chance.
I say that our team believes that online education is more effective than on-campus schooling.
Okay, the time is over for the first speaker of proposition.
Thank you.
Now, let's move to the first speaker of
Okay, good afternoon, guys.
the Honorable, the adjudicators, moderator, timekeeper, and my beloved proposition team, shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, before I give my arguments, I want to review the arguments of first speaker from proposition team. You say that by online education, students can improve their knowledge or can improve students' learning. But in fact, there are many students that don't understand about the materials. And if in offline learning, they can ask the teacher about the material. So I think the offline education is more effective than in online education. Okay, I will continue. In this motion, I have two keywords, that is online education and campus schooling. The first one, online education. Online education is the concept of distance learning that is utilization of digital technology. And the second is campus schooling. Campus schooling means the learning activities carried out face-to-face in class. And this is the background of the motion. Offline education is education that is carried out face-to-face in school between students and teachers. Offline education is considered effective than online education because it has good impact to develop the students' knowledge. They are more active because of intense learning if in offline education. And in offline education, they can improve their talent. So they can reach the goals of the school for a better school. And I don't go with the motion that online education more effective than on campus schooling because there are several reasons. In my opinion, in offline learning, there are values that can be taken by the students. There is the values of social, cultural, ethnical, and moral motivation that can only obtain through the social interaction. And based on the survey by Education and Culture Department, 90% of students prefer offline learning than online education because the students not ready to attending the online education, and there are several reasons why. Yeah, please. No, thank you. I will continue my arguments. The first one is the available of internet code, network, and the gadget. As we know that not all students have gadgets, and in their place maybe. Okay. Yes, please.
In this pandemic situation, government said that if so, online learning, then on effective, then on online offline is over.
Okay, thank you. I will continue my arguments. The first one is the available of internet code, network, and the gadget. As we know that not all students have gadgets, and maybe in their place or where they live there is no network, and because of their economic they can buy the internet code and the gadget. And the second is by offline education strengthen relationship between students or between students and teachers. When in offline learning, student and teacher can make a communication, so their relationship is good. And the third is the transfer of materials carried out online learning is
It does not work properly. Students only make attendance without interaction with the educators, and sometimes educators just give the material in front of them.
Time is over for the first speaker of the opposition team. Now let's move to the second speaker of affirmative team.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the time given. Your first speaker said that online education is more effective for the student. The second speaker, I want to emphasize that agree 100% the argument. Agree 100%. Agree. Of implementing from home is to ensure the fulfillment of the right of children to obtain educational service during in the COVID-19 emergency. Offline learning is always limited, but through the online educational, students are encouraged to explore with available said that their creativity and versatile continues to grow. Again, I want to emphasize that the Ministry of Education The Ministry of Education and Culture essays Culture Letter Number 50 of 220 regarding guidelines for organizing learning from home in the emergency period COVID-19. In this culture, that the purpose of implementing from home is to ensure to obtain education service during in the COVID-19 emergency. Offline learning in always limited, but is always limited by the time. But through online education, students are encouraged to explore with available, which said that their creativity and core style continues to grow. Thank you.
You still have chance for the second speaker of opposition team, and for opposition team, you still have time.
Yeah. The second speaker said that using online education is for emergency like COVID-19. It means that after COVID-19, we don't need to using online education anymore.
POI is over. And for the second speaker of opposition team, you want to continue your arguments?
That's all for me. Thank you.
But this will have chance. Okay, thank you for the second speaker of proposition team. Now let's come to the second speaker of negative things. Time please for you.
Okay, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the theory of effectiveness of Henry Furman said that learning program must go far from the utilities. The argument that we emphasize is ineffectiveness online learning. It doesn't mean that we disagree about the online learning. Online learning on online education is still low because unequal infrastructure and economic, not yet internet speed in Indonesia, the lack of communication tools, and then Indonesian lack of technological skill. Especially some in area, in front, in terrace, and outside. in NTT, some areas in NTT, in Papua, in Sulawesi, especially in Maluku. And internet speed in Indonesia is under the average internet speed in Asia. Average internet speed in Indonesia is just 40.5 megabyte per second. Under the average internet in Asia is 13.9 megabyte per second. Because of the position, the region from the countries can make inequal infrastructure. Besides of infrastructure and economic problem, online education also have problem over students themselves. For example, online education using the application that has provided by a special application that provided by the school.
POI is open.
I have seen the video from the like Zoom application like Zoom, and then I have seen the video from TikTok application that students follow the lesson with turn off the camera and sound. Meanwhile, the student was asleep and sleepy and fall asleep without follow the lesson. Yes, please.
In this pandemic situation, the government said that don't gather. If so, online learning is more effective. How much about it? Thank you.
Okay, you said that government mandated to us to to be together, right? Oh, and it's mean before after this COVID-19, it's mean that we can make campus schooling again. Okay, let me continue my argument. I have two reasons why I disagree about the motion today. Number one is, if in campus schooling, students can understand quickly. Why I say that? Because based on my experience, I more understanding about what the teachers say. Teachers say using face-to-face learning. And number two is online education affecting parents' economy. Why I say that? Because imagine that to buy some rice is too expensive. In addition, to buy handphone and codes, I think it can increase the economic crisis of economy in Indonesia. That's all, and thank you.
For the second speaker opportunity, we still have chance. Okay, the time is over for the opposition, the second speaker from opposition team. Now let's move to the third speaker of pro-opposition team.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and thank you very much for giving the chance to me. I am Evelyn as the third speaker of affirmative team. Would like to support with the motion said that online education is more effective than campus schooling. Another advantage of online learning is that the learning process can be accessed easily just by using a smartphone, computer or laptop connected to the internet. Since it can be accessed easily, children can carry out the learning process in the living room, family room, bedroom, to other places where the atmosphere is more comfortable. Online learning also gives the chance to the parents to see and control their children in learning. That's all for me, thank you.
You still have chance, 4 minutes for you. For the third speaker, you still have time.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, I would like to say that online education is more effective than campus schooling. Another advantage of online learning is that the learning process can be just by using a smartphone, computer or laptop connected to the internet. Since it can be accessed easily, please, children. No, thank you. Children can carry out the learning process in the living room, family room, bedroom, to other places, where the atmosphere is more comfortable. Online learning also gives the chance to the parents to see and control the
please.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. You say that in online education, the parents can control their child, right? Okay. But in fact, there are many parents that don't control their child during the class, especially when the child have busy parents. The parents only busy to work and do not control their child. What's your opinion about that?
For the speaker of opportunity, we still have chance to deliver your opinion. Q&A is over. For the third speaker, continue your argument.
That's all for me, thank you.
Okay, thank you for the chance given to me. Good afternoon all. I want to give reconstruct the argument from the first and second speaker. The theory of effectiveness of Harry Firman say that learning program must go far from the utilities. The argument that we want to emphasize is efficient online learning. Online education is still low because the first, not yet, internet spread in Indonesia. Not all the places in Indonesia have a good internet connection. The second point is the lack of communication tools. The third, Indonesia lack of technical skills. I want to give the conclusion that the motion that we are debating today. Learning done online is a very influenced by the availability by the gadgets, internet networks, and internet codes. That is why the cause online learning is not to be optimal. That has an impact for the situation for the students, teachers, and including education provides. Based on the result of survey on education of device learning conditional by Directorate Education Higher Learning, it said that 90% students want to offline learning than online learning. Students must want to offline learning or face-to-face or out the network. This is because students are not ready to carry out the online learning.
POI is low.
Based on the data, that survey is 70% students want to offline learning and 30% students agree implementation online learning. There are negative impact because of online learning. The first impact is not all the parents from the students can buy a handphone. We know that in the world, have other people have a economy is the different. Not all the human in the world have a good economic condition. So that's my expert observations that many people not have a handphone because their parents that can buy a handphone. The second is both still use the technology.
Yeah, please.
Okay, please.
What is your make if students are positive COVID-19 that your schools because of online learning?
Okay, you say that if the students have okay, we are talking about the COVID-19. We're just talking about the online education. How do students agree or do not agree the online educations? How they are agree if the offline learning is more effective than online learning? And you say that if the students who just like this COVID-19, she can stay in home, stay in the hospital, and their materials he can bring their friends. Their friends can give their material. Okay, the third point is internet networks and internet codes. Places in the world have a different condition. The first example, this is my village. This is not a good connection. So it is why I don't agree if the online learning is more effective than campus school. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
For the speakers of negative team, you still have chance.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the third speaker of opposition team. Now let's come to the reply speech from every team. Firstly, we come to the opposition team to prepare and deliver your reply speech.
Okay, thank you for the chance that has given to us. I'm the reply speaker from opposition team. I will give conclude of the motion today. Offline learning is a concept of teaching learning that is carried out face-to-face in class. In offline education, the student can understand the material properly. So I think offline learning is so important to develop students' knowledge, and the students can improve their talent. In offline learning, the teacher can transfer the material properly and in-depth explanation, and the students can accept the material well. And need to know that the teacher can replace by the technology. So I think offline learning more effective than on campus school. Thank you.
Delivered your reply speech. Now let's move to the reply speaker from proposition team.
Okay, thank you very much for the time and given. I am as the reply speaker from affirmative team. I will have the conclude of our debating motion today. Online education means that students are learning from home and do not interaction face-to-face between our students and teachers. We have three reasons. The first, online learning helps the students to know how to use some technologies. The Ministry of Education and Culture Access Culture Letter number 15 of 2020 regarding guidelines for organizing learning from home in the emergency through COVID-19. Online learning are give the chance to the parents to see and control directly their children in learning. I would like to say that our team believes that online learning is more effective than on-campus schooling. Thank you.
For the reply speaker, you still have time.
I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, let's give applause for preparation team and opposition team. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all our English debating competition for SMA or SMK of Prime Level 3 Lembor and South Lembor District for today. And let's give chance to the adjudicators who calculate the result of this debating. While waiting for the result from this place, as the moderator, I would like to say my deepest apologies if I have done any mistake throughout this competition. I am my duty as the moderator for today's event. Thank you very much.